And speaking of powertrains, let's get our acceleration here. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing a 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited, and we're going to figure out if the Limited is the sweet spot for the new Jeep Grand Cherokee. First and foremost, so a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Chmiller Jeep Chrysler here in Sandy, Utah for giving me some time with this Limited. This one is still available for sale for the time being, so if you're interested, reach out to them. Link to their inventory in the description down below. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below as well. Let's get into the video. So under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 3.6 liter V6. It goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 19 around town and then 26 on the highway, with power outputs being 293 horsepower and then 260 pound-feet of torque, which gives this a 0 to 60 time of 7.5 seconds. Now let's go over the front end of the Grand Cherokee Limited. So first off, what you guys will notice is we have the signature Grand Cherokee hood, which is very simplistic in design because it's pretty much just flat there in the center and then it kind of dips off on either side. I think it looks really good. Got the Jeep logo there in the center and then Jeep's signature front grille here. And then coming down below, I've been a huge fan of the styling here of the new Grand Cherokee lights because you've got like the orange daytime running light here with the LED headlamps. And then notice here down below with the fog light. And you guys can see here with the chrome trim. That's kind of like a theme here with the Limited. There's more chrome trim down below. And overall, it's a really good looking vehicle from a front end perspective. Coming around the side here, we've got two 65mm tires wrapped around 18-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. And then you guys can see here from a design perspective with the wheel, actually looks pretty cool. And it fits with the overall theme of kind of having like brighter touches on the finishes for the Jeep, again, hence the chrome on it. Anyways, got the standard suspension that comes with the new Grand Cherokee. And then notice here how that portion on the fender flare connects to like the blacked out trim there on the front bumper, and it continues all along the side here. We have our Grand Cherokee badge, and then notice the mirror's blacked out, and then we have the Grand Cherokee signature like chrome accent piece that goes all the way to the rear. And if we take a few steps back, you guys can see the full side profile here, which looks great. Now here is the key fob. You guys can see we've got our unlock function, our lock function, remote start, and then the opening here for the hatch. So we just press that twice and it'll pop it right open. And one of the benefits of the Grand Cherokee is the fact that it has tons of storage space here in the back. So first off, you guys will notice we have a spare tire underneath. We also have a 12 volt. And yeah, I mean, even with the seats folded up, this is just absolutely massive. And that's why people love the size of the Grand Cherokee. And then you just press this and you'll slow lower it back down. Wait for it. Boom. Now finishing things up with the rest of the rear, you guys can see here with the blacked out trim there at the top, and then notice here with the LED tail lamps, and how you've got that blacked out piece of trim that kind of connects everything with the Jeep badge in the center. We have our Limited logo, we've got our 4x4 badge there, and then parking sensors here at the bottom. And notice how the exhaust tip isn't prominent so that it doesn't mess with the overall design. Now here's the door panel in the rear, you guys can see here with the trim, and then I love how the door handle trim kind of like matches the trim down below, and look at the padding here with the stitching that goes across. And then here are these seats that you get in the Limited, really nice here with the padding, and then we'll kind of pop in. You guys can see legroom. Headroom's great as well, and then notice here we've got a storage pocket, and then you can see here we've got these vents on the center portion, and then down below we've got all of our like charging ports. We do have heated seats here for the rear as well. We have our cup holder armrest situation, which is always very important. Let's head to the front. Now here's the front door panel. You guys can see again here with the trim. Notice we do have memory seats, blind spot monitoring for the mirrors, and then all of the trim down below super similar to what you have in the rear, right? Just stylized a little bit different because the front door panel is a little bit different, right? Notice the front two windows are automatic, and then this one has the Alpine sound system, which is a really good sound system with a subwoofer. Sounds fantastic. And then here are the front seats again. Look at all the stitching. You can see the power adjustments there. Pedal layout down below. Got the hood latch release, parking brake, and then the light control right here. And let's pop in. Now here is the steering wheel for the Grand Cherokee. You guys can see here, really nice padding all around, and then look at the trim on top of that. And then just all the nice touches here look fantastic. Jeep logo right there. We do have regular cruise control as well as adaptive cruise control. Paddle shifters here on the back for the 8-speed automatic. And there are radio controls as well there on the back of the steering wheel. And then we got our phone controls for the center stack. Turn signal stock. And then we have our windshield wiper stock. And, well, there's the steering wheel. Now I think this is the best angle I can get on the gauge cluster because there's quite a bit of glare, but we have this full digital gauge cluster here. As you guys can see, different bits of info on the vehicle and lets you know like what's happening with the off-road stuff, which is cool because, you know, every single Jeep is technically supposed to be able to do some off-roading, but, you know, basic information just like other vehicles. And then you guys probably saw we were in auto. There's a sport mode. There's also a snow mode, and then there's a sand and mud mode as well. And there you go. So up top here, if you want to turn off the auto stop, start, lane departure, stability control, you got a bunch for that, and parking sensors. You got hazard lights, and then this is for the passenger screen to turn it on or off because, well, I guess this one has the whole passenger screen interface, which lets them control stuff like the media and everything. But the main screen is this infotainment system right here. So if we pop it into reverse, you guys can see you've got the backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel, and you got that zoom function as well. Navigation here in the center, and response time here with these buttons is fantastic. You guys probably noticed we got the dual zone climate here for the front, heated seats, heated steering wheel as wheel. I'm just gonna keep making that joke for the rest of time. Other stuff, this comes with Android Auto, and notice we have Alexa. It also has Apple CarPlay as well, I believe. I'm pretty sure. Let's just double check here. I don't see a button for it, but I swear that it has it. I'll check the window sticker at the end just to make sure on that. But anyways, really solid infotainment system. Now down below, we've got our analog controls here for the radio. Again, dual zone climate, analog controls for the heated seats and heated steering wheel. Those blank switches would be if it had air conditioned seats. And then notice here, we've got the USBs, that whole section right there, and then you can cover it up with this little piece of black trim. This is your drive mode select right here. And we have this beautiful shifter for the 8-speed automatic. Definitely feels high quality. And then we got our cup holders right here, and then the center console. Again, tons of nice padding all over here with the Grand Cherokee. Same thing on the dash too. Like the dash looks very high quality. All of it definitely has this like luxury car appearance to it. And there's the glove box. And then finishing things up top, this one has a panoramic sunroof as well. You got the controls for the sunroof right here, and just a mirror dimmer, not the camera mirror. Anyways, there's the top. So here's a window sticker for this 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee. First off, it says it does have Apple CarPlay right there. I was like, I'm pretty sure it has Apple CarPlay. Anyways, you guys can see here with the optional equipment, also base MSRP $46,645. This one has the trailer tow prep group, and then that dual panoramic sunroof, and then the interactive display, the passenger interactive display, $1,095, and then the 10-inch display, which is another $1,075. Anyways, after all options, $53,140. I didn't close that all the way. There we go. So 53 grand. Let's see how it drives. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility of the hood. Both the mirrors, which do have blind spot monitoring. And then throughout the rest of the rear. And let's set off. So setting off here in the Grand Cherokee Limited, which this might just be the sweet spot for the new Jeep Grand Cherokee, and let's kind of talk about that. So first off, you know, if we look at the exterior of the Limited, it's a good-looking vehicle on the outside. I think the only thing that people might not exactly love is the wheel design potentially, but pretty easy to add aftermarket wheels if you don't love that. But yeah, like I think new Grand Cherokee styling looks great, and so this looks great on the outside. And then interior is very like high quality. You guys probably remember I had that Overland 4xe for the week, and this isn't quite as nice as the Overland interior, but it's pretty dang close. Like, it's got a really nice dash. The seats are very comfortable. I think the seats look nice. Material used throughout is just really nice. Again, for this segment, this is very, very top notch, and so you're getting a very similar vehicle to the Overland, but at, you know, pretty substantial discount, right? And then features as well, right? This has a panoramic sunroof. It's got a solid sound system. Now, it doesn't have the Macintosh sound system, which is just beautiful, but this Alpine sound system is still really solid. And then other stuff, you know, powertrain, right? This has the V6. You know, some people might not exactly love the V6, but here's the deal. I'm at pretty high elevation, about 4,500 feet here. And you know, at this elevation, the V6 still performs very, very well. It's still, and you guys will see with the acceleration, it still feels decent and torquey. And this isn't that much slower than the 5.7 Hemi, actually. So the 5.7 Hemi is rated for a 0 to 60 time of just about, I think it's like 0.5 or 0.6 seconds quicker than this. So yes, it is quicker, but it's not like a full second quicker. It's half a second, right? Which is something, but it's also, you know, not as much as you might think, considering the differences with the powertrains. And speaking of powertrains, let's get our acceleration here. Yeah, and the 8-speed helps out a lot. The 8-speed makes it so that you just boom right into the next gear, just smooth the shift, everything. It's really solid. And so yeah, let's sum things up here at this Limited. Like I said, I like the outside on it. Interior is great. I do think this is pretty close to the sweet spot for the Grand Cherokee, depending on what you're looking for. There's the Laredo that I reviewed the other week that kind of had like an upgraded interior with the Grand Cherokee. I think that is like the best bang for your buck, is getting like an upgraded Laredo, because it's still less expensive than this and it's still a very nice vehicle. But if you basically want like a luxury Grand Cherokee and you don't want to pay Overland or Summit prices, then the Limited is great. Powertrain is more than enough, and this interior feels very high-end, especially when you compare this to the previous generation Grand Cherokee. This is like a night and day difference. And so for, you know, just over $50,000, you're getting a really solid value with this Limited. So I guess it kind of is a sweet spot for the Grand Cherokee. Let me know what you guys think about this package, but I think it's pretty dang good. That's gonna sum things up for our video on this Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Schmiller Jeep Chrysler here in Sandy, Utah for giving me some time with this Grand Cherokee Limited. Check out the inventory in the description down below. I'll see you guys.